Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our first digital Reboot Wellness experience. Our Reboot Wellness cruise was originally planned for this year, so we were all just talking about how we'd be in the Bahamas right now, but thanks
Yeah,
to
we'd actually
COVID.
we'd actually be leaving today.
Right. So it's like so many things, right? We've had to make changes in plans, but I think it's actually been for the positive because now we're able to offer this event to all of you viewers for free and just allow you to get wonderful exposure to healing and teaching. We've had a great lineup for you today. We already had a fantastic talk about the healing benefits of nutrition and how we can support our digestion in times of stress. And now we're actually going to be meeting with our next speaker. So super excited for this. Jenna Rice, she's a healer, or sorry, Reese, I mispronounced her name, Jenna Reese, a healer and breathwork meditation coach. So she has a wonderful experiential breathwork meditation for us today. And of course, myself, just to introduce me again, I'm Lauren Rice, and I'm a nutritional therapist and mindfulness teacher. And I have my co host, Tony Twyman, who is a certified health coach and personal trainer and founder and creator of the Reboot Wellness cruises. So we've all come together today to help you guys get some Zen and get some breathing space to reset, relax, and restore. Thanks.
Love it. Welcome, Jenna.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome.
We dive
Looking
right
forward to we can dive right in. I'm looking forward to learning how to breathe better. So I think we all could use that. And I'm
in.
so honored to have you here and look forward to seeing you in person once we start getting back on boats.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. It's always so nice. I am getting a little background noise. I don't know
Yeah,
if that's
I'll mute that out. That was Lauren. I got you.
okay. No worries. But yes, I am thrilled to be here. And look, things have changed as we know this year in many different forms, and now I get to be here with you guys. So I'm kind of happy you're not in the Bahamas, if that's selfish of me to say. But I'm thrilled to be here and help people learn how to work with their breath. It's always such a funny job title, if you will, when I dive in and talk with people about how we can use our breath to really help reboot, restore, and reconnect with oneself. And today, before we really dive in, we're going to do a little bit of talking, just talking about why breath, what that is, what it can do for you, and then we're going to go into a little bit of an experiential, and we'll come out with for some Q&A and some talk with you guys. So the most important thing when we talk about breath is to just identify that first and foremost, how long has it been since you've taken a long deep breath? I heard Tony just do one. So like you can just look at even your day and you go, oh, interesting. Have I noticed I've been breathing at all? If you haven't been noticing you've been breathing at all, then your body's probably in need and craving a little bit more breath. So let's just all take a big deep breath in, out. That's it. So if you ever tell yourself you don't have time for breathing, for a meditation, that's all you actually have to do in order to allow for breath to reach the different parts of your body that it's craving. Now, we can't really talk about resetting with breath without identifying what it is that is even in need of being reset, right? So often we hold emotions in our body, we hold experiences in our body. Our body is made of energy. We know this. DNA is energy. And so with these energies that live within your body, what that really means is that oftentimes, if we're not consistently and consciously allowing ourselves to uproot some of those feelings, to call to the surface some of those experiences that your body is storing, then your body isn't always going to be releasing them. That's why exercise feels so good. You leave that with the endorphins rush, but it is because you've actually allowed for energy to move through your body. So there's tons of different ways you can move energy within your body. When we talk about moving energy with your body through breath, you can do something as simple as what we just did, one deep breath, and identify where it is in your body that you need to be sending that breath to. You can also allow yourself to identify what it is that's in need of some breath. And that I'm referring to specifically feelings, emotions. Emotions get a bad rep. They have a bad reputation. We are told if you are the type of person who cries when you're overwhelmed, you're either told that's like strange or inappropriate, or you're, want to leave the board meeting and go sit in your car and do it alone, which is all totally fine and well, because at least you're still releasing it. But what if you don't actually leave that space and go give yourself that release? What if you allow feelings to simply move through when they're there? Now, science actually shows that when you let emotions move through your body, it takes 90 seconds for it to move through your body. That's it. 90 seconds. So if, hey, I'm mad, this is the feeling I have, and it's anger, I'm mad, we really let ourselves feel mad, feel the anger, 90 seconds is all it will take for that to move through your body. How magnificent is that? That is astronomically different than the 7 years you've been holding mad or anger, right? The difference is what starts to end up happening is we start to actually hold those emotions in rather than honor them and feel them or claim them as bad or negative. And they're never going to go anywhere. You're simply going to continue to feel it over and over again, and it will build up. And then you can create actual physical problems within your body that are simply a buildup of energy, a buildup of emotions. So I often like to say you have to feel it to heal it. Mm-hmm. That's what I like to use the breath for. I use the breath to help us feel it so that we can feel it. We can even break this down a little bit further, and we can talk about it as it relates to stress or anxiety, something that we all know and all know very well, right? Mm-hmm. Suppressed stress and suppressed anxiety. Suppressed stress is really something that can lead to anxiety. Anxiety, from an energy standpoint, is a buildup of emotion in the body. And how does stress and anxiety start to show up in your body, right? We can see change in hormones. We can see tension points and pain points within our body. We can see sleep disturbance. We can see digestive issues or pains in your stomach and your back. You can see, mental fogginess. I know a lot of people that saw their stress and anxiety this year through mental fogginess or irritability. Those are all signs that you're feeling a buildup of emotion within your body. And how do we stop it from getting to the point where it becomes physical pain? We feel it. We have to feel what it is that's there. Because if it gets too big, or rather when it gets too big, it starts to actually show you those physical symptoms in your body. So we have to honor and acknowledge our body and meet our body really where it's at, right? Your body's asking for help in moving through your emotions. Your body's asking for help. And you can use your breath to do this. And I think that's the most common myth I hear is I don't have time for meditations. I'm bad at it. Whatever those reasons or excuses, right, rather are that we say, you can always lean on your breath. You can find 1 minute, you can find 5 minutes, or you can do your full hour-long session, right? But when you lean on your breath, you help reset your actual nervous system. And what that gets activated then, what allows to move through your body is everything else you've been holding. And we all need a little more breath. We all need a little more space to move through those things. That's the noise of the outside world right now has gotten louder and louder. And the fact that we have access to a tool like our breath to help you feed and honor the emotions that are needed to be felt is pretty magnificent. You don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to hire any guru. You want to go to the Bahamas, obviously, but we don't have to. We can also check in every given moment, right? And allow our breath to be the tool that helps us feel better, helps us reset, helps us feel more ourselves. So I'm going to show you a technique specifically, but before I do that, I want to talk to you about a couple different types of techniques, because you really can use a ton of different forms of breathing tools in order to support the movement of these emotions, of these energies. And you can use them at any given time. I teach all of them. I love them all. The one I'm going to show you today is my favorite. But the two others I want to tell you about. So we have breath work, which is the one I'm going to show you how to actually do tonight. We'll experience it. We have a practice that's known as Shamatha Vipassana. It's a practice that's an open eye meditation, or otherwise known as a breath awareness meditation. And then I have a counting breath technique. All three of them I love for very different reasons, really dependent on where you are. If you're in your boardroom, or not that we're doing that anymore these days, but let's just say you're in the middle of your meeting and you're sitting and your camera's on and you're feeling activated and you're feeling a lot of emotions. This one, the counting breath technique, I love because you can do it anywhere. No one else knows that you're doing it. You know. And so the counting breath technique is a 4-7-8 breath technique. You breathe in through your nose and count to 4 through that. The inhale is a count to 4. Then you hold it at the top for 7 and you count to 7. And then you exhale 4-8. I like this one specifically when stress is boiling over. I like this one specifically like at the beginning of the pandemic when the noise was just coming at you so strong and so intensely, and you almost didn't have a moment to identify that what you were feeling was yours or the world's or your friends or your mom's. It was tons of fear, right? And I know
Chaos.
we're chaos, exactly. And when we're feeling that, I like to do this one. I like the 4-7-8. It really sort of allows everything within you to recenter, to realign. So let's do it, shall we, Tony and Lauren?
Yes. Let me take Lauren off of mute there. Go for it.
So we're going to do the 4-7-8, and we're just going to do, let's say, 2 or 3 counts. I'll count you guys in. So anyone that can do this one anywhere, you just count in your own head. That's all, okay? So you guys can just relax. You can do eyes open. You can have eyes closed. You decide. You feel into what's right for you. So you're going to inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. All right? So we'll start off in 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. Good. One more. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Beautiful. How do you feel?
Feel great.
Centered.
I
Centered.
feel smiley. I feel happy.
And it's
Like I
different.
accomplished something.
Yeah, totally. And it's interesting because you, for those 60 seconds, were not paying attention to anything other than the counting and your breath. And it was a 60-second meditation. And all that actually starts to do is release and move through some of that energy buildup within your body. Now, this one, the second one, I'm not going to be able to show you guys really today. I'll just speak to. It's called Samatapasana. Yeah.
And before you go, how many of those would you do in a row? I mean, how many of those rounds?
Great question. It depends on what you're feeling.
Okay.
I'd say if you're feeling stressed and really anxious, I would do at least 5 or 6, at least. If it's really been building, I would say you'd want to lean on breath work, which will be the one that I'll get you guys into today. If you're like, I'm feeling frustrated, irritated, triggered, you really only need 2. Usually 2 is the amount that will help you at least start to drop in. So you want to do at least 2. But look, whenever you're feeling intensity of any kind, it's going to be supportive no matter how many you're able to.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for asking that. Okay, so then the second one is the breath awareness meditation, which is known as Shamatha Vipassana. This practice is an open eye technique. So you actually have your eyes open while you're in meditation, which is very different than a lot of other meditations. This practice is an ancient Buddhist practice. It is actually said to be a direct transmission from the Buddha himself, which is why I love it so much. And notice, even talking about it, my whole energy shifted. Everything
I see that.
went down. It's because the practice slows everything down.
Okay.
The practice itself is all about the noise exists. Our eyes are open. We know the world exists. We know where the noise is. And still, I can choose through the simplicity of letting my attention rest on my breath to be still. I can choose to simply let my attention rest on my breath. That to me is the depth and the profoundness of the practice exists in the simplicity. And that's why I love that one so much. It's felt like a coming home to myself. It's been throughout this pandemic the grounding tool that's allowed me to find that center point when everything else is loud and noisy. Right? So that first one, the breath counting, is like there's a buildup. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling a lot. I just need a moment to reset. This one is more on a consistent basis. This is the one that you would want to not just do once. You'd want to commit to a week. You'd want to commit to 2 weeks and just see how it feels for you. You can get videos of people guiding this. One of the other reasons I love this so much is because it's a direct transmission from the Buddha himself. No teacher anywhere gets to put their own little flair or spin on it. It's simply language that has been transmitted over lifetimes. So that one is another fun one I won't have time to dive us into, because then there's my favorite, which is the one we're going to do, which is breathwork. Breathwork. I guess I should have paused. I'm like talking so fast. Any questions like so far from
No,
you guys?
you're good so far. I don't have any questions. Lauren's good. There's nothing from the audience right now.
Cool. Okay. So we'll go into breath work. So breath work is an active meditation. What does that mean? It simply means that you are moving energy actively, inviting it up, inviting it forward through the awareness of your breath, through this manipulated breathing technique. So the technique itself is actually a 2-step breathing technique. You breathe through an open mouth and you breathe 2 inhales before you exhale. So this technique has ancient roots as well. It's a pranayama breathing technique. It's one of the most profound techniques I have discovered and teach. It's the one that gave me my awakenings and led me on my path. And the reason why is because I believe I've been a meditator my whole life, but life gets in the way and you stray and you change up your morning routine, and do you like it anymore, or maybe it doesn't work, whatever you've decided works mean. This practice itself allows you to go into everything that your body's been holding. So all those emotions we talked about, all the stress and tension, this is like the cleansing of everything your body's been holding so that you can feel more yourself. It's also the most physical response one, meaning people get cramped hands, people have tightness in jaws, you can get tingling sensations. It's the kind of experience that you actually have a physical experience from it, or can have, I should say, a physical experience from it. And that makes people uncomfortable. So that also, pushes you to let go of control of what's going to happen, to let go of our need for an outcome, the need for this to make us feel a certain way, which is one of the problems we see in the meditation field in general, is people want it. Okay, I've done it. Actually, I feel like you probably see it in health and wellness of all kinds. I worked out once. Why didn't I lose 10 pounds? Right? Well, we know that doesn't work that way, but do we really know that it doesn't work? So we have to let ourselves start to let go of control and commit to this sort of transitioning, if you will, of the experience itself. Breathwork, you can have an incredible cleansing happen in just one time, just laying down once. This is not something you have to do every day. If you're crazy like me, you certainly can do it every day, but it's more the type of practice that I'm feeling a lot. I can feel that I could use this technique. I could use a cleansing, an inner cleansing. I could use that reboot. My nervous system is on overload. This is the one that I would lean into. So again, if you're crazy like me, you can do it every day. I started off, I actually built the 30-day breathwork journey because I was like, give me more, give it to me all. I'm in, like, let's go. And I loved it. I loved the way that it deep cleansed me for 30 days, and what it uprooted and really allowed me to then see and feel. That said, it's definitely not for everyone every day. So everyone just feel into that for yourself.
Whosoever shall.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's how you do the technique. All right. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. It's going to be a little different. I know how people will be seeing it. Tony and Lauren are going to be, I know you'll be on camera, but for everyone else that's not, I actually recommend that for this one, you lie down. It will make you feel most comfortable and safe. So, don't worry about that you're not seeing Tony and Lauren do it that way. Just let yourself lie down. Remove any pillows if you can. Here's how you are going to do this technique. And you'll hear me guiding you through it. But you're going to breathe through an open mouth throughout the duration of the practice. You'll breathe 2 breaths into the body. 1 breath into the low belly and 1 breath into the high chest, into the heart. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit so you can see my low belly is here, my high chest is here. So when I reference the low belly, you want to breathe in through an open mouth and you want your belly to expand. Okay, that's what's happening. So I'm going to show you my mouth is open. Just like that. My mouth is open. You're breathing into that low belly for a breath. And then into the high chest, the heart for a breath. Exhale. Good. Again, belly, heart, exhale. Good. One more. Belly, heart, exhale. Good. Much better. Just like that. Okay. So I'm going to guide you through that. But that's the technique you're going to be using. 2 breaths in through an open mouth, 1 breath out. Yes, your mouth will dry. Yes, you want to sit up and drink water and, the neighbor wants your attention and to knock at your door, or the dog needs you now. All the things will happen. My invitation to you as we lie down for this one is to just for the next 10 minutes, see if you can really be present in the experience and let the other world happen. Shall we go?
Okie dokie.
Okay. All right. Beautifully. So I'm going to get our music up here for you guys. Give me a moment. Go ahead and get yourselves lying down flat. Remove any pillows from the back of your head. Remove any, big support systems. If you do and need a back support, and you have back, neck, knee problems, you do you. You know your body best. You always will. This is a short session. So if at any time this makes you too uncomfortable to keep going, that's no problem. You have free will. You can do what's right for you. But it's like, you're here. Let's see what we can have some fun with, right? Let's see if we can push you a little bit past that comfort zone. But you also might want to grab a blanket from the bed or from the other room and just get yourself a little cozy. All right? So as you get settled, go ahead and lie down. Tony and Lauren, just lean back. You can close your eyes. Take short, softer breaths in. I know they're trusting me, so, they're safe in a chair too. You just don't want to be doing this while you're driving your car. If you're driving your car, stop listening or listen and don't engage. All right, so let your eyes drift closed. Go ahead and go inward. What does that mean? It just means your eyes are closed. You're taking a look around the inside of your own body here. So settle on into that. Essentially forgetting about everything we've talked about, forgetting about everything that's been going on. It can all exist. It can all be there. You're simply here to breathe for this moment. So call those versions of yourself on home. And I'm going to play some music. So you're going to hear me speak. You're going to hear some music come up. You're going to just breathe. So go ahead and begin now. Open your mouth. Start with the active breath. Breathe deep into that belly. And then into the heart. And then exhale. Belly. Heart. Exhale. Good. Belly. Heart. Exhale. You're going to hear some music come on. Go ahead and keep breathing just like that.
Things are getting brighter. Oh, try. Things are gonna get easier. Oh, try. Things will get brighter. Someday we'll get it together and we'll get it all done. Someday when your head is much lighter, yeah. Someday walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday when the world is much brighter, ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Oh, child, things are gonna get easier. Oh, child, things will get brighter. Someday we'll get it together and we'll get it all done. Someday when your light is much lighter. Someday we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday when the world is much brighter, brighter. Oh, child, things are gonna get easier. Oh, child, oh, child, oh, child, things will get easier. Oh, child, oh, child, oh, child, things will get
Beautiful. You're doing a great job staying with it here. What's starting to happen is that your mind is telling you, I don't like this. I don't know about this. I don't understand this. Your mind has a voice. It always will. So that's no problem. Your job is to just breathe right now. So stay with this practice, keep breathing, and start to allow whatever it is that you are feeling to be there. Fully allowing it all to exist. You're doing great.
We fucked it, friend, it's on its head up the street.
Beautiful. So we're just asking the breath. You keep breathing. We're asking the breath to support you in getting the experience you're in need of. Asking the breath to help you cleanse, purify, magnify your body of all that you've been holding. And in order to do this, we call it to the surface. So keep going. Calling what you feel, what's there in this moment to the surface. Staying with it. Give yourself permission here to let go of the need to understand, to let go of the need to control, to let go of any outcome, to simply be present to whatever it is your body is feeling. Keep breathing. So if there's any emotions or sensations or beliefs in there that are uncomfortable, if there's any part of you that's uncomfortable, that doesn't like, that feels like something has been deemed negative, you have are holding anger or frustration or sadness, call it to the surface. Invite your emotions forward. Keep breathing. You to let yourself let out a little sound now on your next exhale, just letting out some noise. It can be a yell if you feel like yelling. Let it be a yell. If you are not in that, let yourself let out a moan, a groan. Good. Ah. Yeah, good. You're starting to feel any emotions or sensations showing up. This is just you. This is your energy, your power. Keep breathing. You're almost there. Yeah. Breathing, meditation work, healing work can also be fun. Go ahead and put a little smile on your face. Yeah, just put a little smile cross over. Maybe that smile makes you giggle. Yeah. Surrendering a little more deeper now. Little more deeply, letting go of the mind. Noticing what it feels like to open your heart. Giving your body permission to put down any emotions you've been holding, any weight, any extra weight that you've been holding, that you're ready to put down. Let yourself put it down. Final moments here. In these final few moments here, letting your body, letting your heart have that center stage start to open. It's you. Good. You can let your breath fall back to your natural breathing pattern. And here, your breath resumes naturally. Here, you rest. Just completely allowing your body to feel what it feels. Settle into a total allowance. Here you rest. Just rest. This is right here. This is your energy and your power. This is what we open to when we put down the emotions, the experiences, the pain, the stress. When we put down what stands in our way from simply being your whole self, your heart. This is nectar. This is what we get to uncover. You can take one or both hands and place them over your heart. Feel nice. If you feel like putting them in prayer form at your heart, you can do that. Choose. Just take a few breaths here, normal breaths. Just normal breaths in and out. This is my energy. This is my power. I get to choose what to do with it. Deep breath in. Big breath out. You might say thank you here. Thank you for the breath. Thank you to the container. Thank you to your body for trusting you. And most of all, a thank you to all living things out there. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, maybe stretch a little bit. If you're needing a few moments before you really come back, just take them. Take those moments for yourself. You know what you need. It's okay to not feel, Let me share that it's okay if you don't feel totally back yet. You will. You have some extra time. Yes, sorry.
No worries. We got about 10 minutes, and I know we got a few questions, but I just want to share something. I felt like there was a lot of work being done. I felt a lot of emotional stuff coming to the forefront of me. A lot of things I've dealt with over the last 102 days of my life. Sometimes we suppress things. This just allowed me to let a few things do what they need to do. I didn't know I was in for this. I just thought I was going to learn how to breathe a little bit. And this is one for the ages. I thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot that your body holds, and you can invite that up and out. You don't have to hold it all, and the breath can help us do that. So incredible.
Wow. Wow. I'm speechless, but we got to carry on. Lauren, you got a couple questions? I'm sorry to. I mean, wow. We could have gone for another 50 minutes, but that was therapy for me. I just want you to know that was therapy for your boy. So, Lauren, you got some questions?
Yes, I do. Well, and first off, Jenna, if you just would remind our viewers what the name of that breath is, just if they want to practice it again because it was so powerful, or how they can find it.
Yeah. So this practice specifically, there are tons of lineages of breath work. This one that I just had you go through in the longer session is just known as breath work, but it's of the pranayama lineage. And you can always shoot me a note or a message if you want to dive into that a little more. But the best way to find that technique and tool is to type in breath work or pranayama breath work. And I'd say, people can absolutely do this on their own. I have playlists. My playlists I offer up to my mailing list. There people can just press play and go and do it on your own. You can make your own playlists, and you can also come to guided sessions. I sometimes, like Tony mentioned, the emotions come up, so the guided sessions can be nice for them.
And you just answered my question, because I was going to ask you, obviously you guided me through this, but can you do it on your own? So you kind of touched on that, so I'm good.
Yeah, yes, I forgot to, yes, the only thing I'll add to that though, Tony, is yes, you can do it on your own. It's mostly though about if you feel safe. So what Tony, you brought up, right, if you had some emotions from the last 102 days, it's sometimes that's not always comfortable, or we don't always feel safe to go into that alone. And so that can be nice to let someone guide you through that, so you don't feel like you're alone in going through that. And for a few other reasons. So yes, you can do it on your own. It's what you feel comfortable with. I always tell people try it both ways, because there's usually you're going to get a different experience alone than you were with a group, than you will with the energy of a guide. So definitely stepping into both is good.
Okay.
Awesome.
No questions from the audience. Lauren, anything? I got
Yeah.
one.
So
Go ahead.
how can people engage with breath work or other breathing techniques? Like, what are what would be some ways they should participate or put it in their day?
Hmm. So, in terms of when and how to put it in your day, I'd say it's whatever feels good and right to people, because like what Tony mentioned, emotions do come up. It's not always the one you want to do in the Zoom. You want to do it while you're in a session, with someone else that's not doing breath work with you. So, being intentional about it is important. That means just creating that container for yourself. Like, I'm home, I'm taking some space to do this. I'm, setting my timer, pressing play on the playlist, telling other people not to bother you or interrupt you so you can really create that safe container. But in terms of the ways, in group settings, private settings, and on your own are really the three ways that you can engage with the practice. I do tons of group sessions. I do about one or two a month. That's just drop-in group sessions. People can come and see what it's like to be guided together as a group. And then I do longer ones. Like I have longer experiences, if you will, like you a whole day long experience of a breath work, for example, where we're not breathing all day long. Don't worry, Tony. You're not breathing all day long, right? You're just allowing yourself to engage in healing and energy work and calling things to the surface, and then we lay down and go into a full session. So there's those different ways of engaging. It's mostly private, group, and private guided. So private sessions is, you find a practitioner to take you on and work with you privately. But those are some of the ways. And you can, I also like to tell people there's a guided audio on my website in my shop that's just my voice. So if you're like, I want to do this on my own, but I'd like some support as I figure out how to do that, that's another way of doing it on your own.
So you got any workshops coming up? Any specials? If anybody mentions Reboot Wellness, they can get a special discount. I thought I'd throw that out there.
Sure, that's a good idea. I didn't even think to do it, but why don't I create one? Yeah.
Okay.
Mention Reboot Wellness if you want to dive on in to a workshop. Absolutely. I have the one I have coming up is the day long one. So if you're like, I like this, I'm interested, and you're ready to go, that's yours. It's not everybody because we're not always all in, but
Okay.
it's okay. It's a day long experience. It's on Saturday the 23rd, and it's going to be an entire day about the moving through energy of fear and returning to the energy of love. So it's an entire day focused around meditations and exercises and breathwork experiences, focused on helping move through fear so that we can step back into and move through those emotions that stand in your way and step back into love. So that's the most recent one I have coming up. And then I've always got things going on. So, Instagram or mailing list is always a great way to find out.
We have to get going. I thank you. I will reach out to you most likely this evening after I'm done with my day. I got a few things I'd like to share with you. And we'll be seeing you on another cruise. If anybody wants to reach me, they can hit me with that you can scan that QR code in the upper right corner. We can do a little session together as well. Lauren, thank you very much for bringing Jenna into my life. And you know what I'd like to do as we go out? Let's pretend we're on a cruise. How about I run a little commercial, show you last year's cruise so we can look forward to the next one we do. And we're going to be on a private island when we do it. So you can do this breath work for us on a private island underneath the stars,
Let's go.
the moon, that sort of thing. So let's just end with some highlights from the last cruise, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you once again.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.